Yeah, it's just really wild out here. I mean, really deep snow, middle of nowhere here, and not really sure. Really bad. I'll do my best here, but I just don't know. I think a lesser man would have died by now. I mean, it's really... So I'll go ahead and set up the black diamond, show it a little bit in these extreme high alpine weather and the deep snow, and hopefully I can give a good impression of it before I set up camp for the night, and hopefully I'll be okay tomorrow. Okay, so let me tell you something about the Firstlight. I've been using the Firstlight on and off for about 5 years. And I say on and off because I bought one, sold it, bought another, sold it. Then I bought a highlight, did a review of that, sold it. Then I got back to the Firstlight. And there's a reason why I always buy them and sell them. I buy them because the advertisements are absolutely awesome. I mean, what can be better than a one-man freestanding tent that can just put up with the worst alpine conditions available? And it's relatively cheap. I mean, you can get them on eBay for $150 with free shipping. That's how much I paid for this, my third or fourth Firstlight. Then I use them and I sell them because I always go back to it when I think I have an alpine trip or something way up in the northern Sweden where I just think, yeah, I need something badass that can put up with anything. And here's the thing, this tent can put up with any kind of wind and snow and cold that you can throw at it, and it does a fairly decent job. It has this pretty big ventilation, it has some ventilation, and you know, if it's not too windy or too crappy weather, you can fold this down quite low without, you know, and that'll help with the condensation. But the reason I sell it is because it's actually a pretty crappy tent. And what I mean by that is that it's too short. You probably saw that, where both my head and my feet touch, and it doesn't matter how I twist and turn my sleeping pad, it's too short for me. And maybe if you're 5'5" and smaller, then it'll be a good size one-man tent. But then you're still looking at a tent that's 1.5 kilos. Okay, so it's too small, it's too heavy. Third one, it's a crappy tent. I mean, if a tent's purpose is to keep you dry, using this tent in anything else other than this kind of weather where it's snow, cold, and dry, it's gonna be crap. If you're using it in rain, it'll break down and you'll get wet. If you're using it in the summer, it'll just be too hot because there's not enough ventilation. I mean, I guess you could have that big vent, but why would you want to bring a 1.5 kilo freestanding tent in the summer? I mean, there's so many bad things with it, but yet I still keep coming back because it just seems so awesome to have it. It has one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to bring it on alpine trips where it's going to be a lot of snow and you just want freestanding, and it'll kind of keep you dry. Got a lot of room for my head. I'm a big guy. I'm 190 centimeters long, which is about 6'3". And as far as height wise, there's no doubt that this is one of the taller tents that you're going to have. You wouldn't want to cram 2 people in here, especially in the winter, but you could. I'll give it that. You could. You wouldn't want to, but you could. I mean, it's bad. It's a terrible tent, but it's an awesome tent. It inspires confidence in that kind of, I just like it. I hate it, and I love it. I mean, look how easy it is to tear down, and the fact that you can be inside of it while you're putting it up instead of having to be on the outside freezing your ass off. I mean, in alpine conditions, when it is cold, windy, and terrible, that's kind of what you want. And sure, it's short, but it is tall. So if I had to rank of all the terrible tents available, which one I would prefer of all of them, it would still be the Black Diamond. I mean, sure, it's a terrible tent, but it's excellent for these kind of conditions. And I don't know if there's a better tent for these kind of conditions. Okay. So it's not the worst tent that I've ever had. In fact, I really do like the Black Diamond Firstlight. In fact, while setting it up and doing my review of it, I started thinking, should I sell it again? And then at the same time, I paid $150 for it on eBay. And I'm thinking, well, you know, $150 if I'm using it 5 times a year, which is about how much I use it. And you just kind of space that over the course of, say, a 4 or 5 year time frame, you know, then it's actually okay to just keep it and let it collect dust and use it for those 4 or 5 times per year, right?